Good evening. We're going to go ahead and get started on this part of the program. We're going to hear from the Visual Arts Center, which is at Einstein High School, and the Edison Center, which is at Edison, and they have a partnership with Wheaton High School. My name is John Rotiers. I work in the consortia office, and this is one of the first things that you're going to be seeing about the consortia and the choice process and everything. So right now we're going to do the visual arts and the Edison program, and then immediately after that we'll start on the Downcounty Consortium and the choice process. Okay, at this time I'd like to introduce Jane Walsh from the Visual Arts Center at Einstein High School.
Good evening. Welcome to an interesting evening of understanding options for your children. Tonight, I would like to introduce you to the Visual Arts Center program, which is the oldest magnet program in MCPS, begun in the 1970s. The VAC was established because they wanted to promote the visual artists, to give them an opportunity to develop their talent and prepare for not only a career in the visual arts, but also to prepare a portfolio for applying to universities or art colleges. Over the last, it's nearly 45 years, the Visual Arts Center has adapted to our society's changes in media and education and the careers. Every year or two, technology changes so quickly and careers change so quickly. I cannot tell you what careers will be established 8 years from now when your children start to enter the job market or are seniors in college. What I can offer you is a program which will grow their talents and grow their minds to understand media, communication, graphic design, and to be able to understand color theory. Our artists mostly are interested in telling stories. When you look at the list of the colleges we've listed in this slide, you understand that people go to varied destinations. Some of you have goals of a liberal arts education leading to an academic life. Some people, your children are making animations and films in elementary and middle school. No previous generation has ever done this before. And some of your children dream of being graphic novelists, illustrators, and animators. To do this, they have to be able to solve a problem and make a deadline. They have to learn to develop their own voice where they no longer just copy or look into their phone and dream of another day. We want them to look into their minds and begin to dream of their own future. The Visual Arts Center is a 4-year curriculum. A student can apply to the Visual Arts Center as an 8th grader and then come to us as 9th graders or 10th graders or 11th graders or even in their senior year. Our program is designed that as a student grows through their high school life, if they discover they have a passion and a talent to be a visual artist, a designer, a filmmaker, a fashion designer, that they have a chance to prepare a portfolio that will attract attention and allow them to be a good candidate for a college program, but also to begin to work towards some kind of personal expression. When you consider our program is set up so that students will take a double period class every day. This is 8 credits of art over a high school career, which means parents and students make a definite plan and commitment. But our students in the Visual Arts Center program are athletes, scholars, they're actors, dancers, musicians. They are not just one mind, and this is the beauty of our community. We want to invite you to consider us that if you are interested and you're a Downcounty Consortium student, you can transfer to Einstein as a DCC school with no problem. If you are from anywhere else in the county and are accepted into our program, you can be invited to enter Albert Einstein High School as a full-time student. Or you can decide to stay at your home school, but the county will not provide any transportation from schools outside of the Downcounty Consortium back and forth to home schools. When you consider you must provide your own transportation, we have students who come to us from BCC, from Whitman, from Quince Orchard, from Watkins Mill, from Richard Montgomery, from Gaithersburg. Over the years, we've had students from all over the county. We do recommend people consider transferring to Einstein and having a stable academic life and also a creative life. We are an integral part of Albert Einstein High School in that students really are involved in SGA. Students are involved in growing their talents. We are an IB school, and I must warn you that if you are interested in going through the IB track at Einstein, it is a marvelous path. But if you choose to apply to the Visual Arts Center program, you can attend the VAC for 2 years, freshman and sophomore year, but then you'll have to make a choice because IB is a full-time program in junior and senior year. We've had a number of students each year choose to become an IB diploma student. But you can do IB certificate, which means our students pursue rigor, and mostly the average VAC student completes 7 AP level courses besides the Art Center. So if you are thinking of checking us out, please come to Albert Einstein High School on October 24th. Check out the whole community. There'll be a presentation in the auditorium. And then we'll invite you to come into the Albert Einstein Gallery, and we'll invite you down to the classroom to meet parents and students and to see a presentation there. We're very interested in looking for new talent and new members to join our community and grow their talents. I will be outside in the lobby until about 8:45, so as the evening continues, if you have questions, please come on out and see us, but also you'll be able to find further information. The last thing I wanted to mention, this is the first year that Montgomery County will have a unified online application for all magnet programs. One component of that will allow all of you to apply to the Visual Arts Center as one of the magnet programs. But you will also find on the information I left at the table that we ask you to do a minor reservation application because one of the elements of our application process is application day, where the student will come to Einstein, see the program, complete some drawings, have an interview, and have their portfolio presented and photographed. Again, I'll be outside in the lobby and happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much. I wanted to introduce you to Sean Kraza, who is the principal of the Edison Center, a very elite program here in Montgomery County. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Let's try that one more time. Good evening. I'm Sean Kraza. I'm the principal at Thomas Edison High School of Technology. Last year, we had the opportunity to open a brand new state-of-the-art facility. We're currently designed as a half-day program. What that means is students from all 25 high schools in Montgomery County, they complete all their academic studies at their home high school. Then they have an opportunity to choose one of our career readiness programs at Edison, and they work toward earning an industry certification. And I believe the best way to learn from our programs and about our programs is to hear directly from our students. So last year, when we opened our new building, we had an opportunity to interview students and talk with them and learn about what their experience is like and where they see themselves going after high school. So I'd like to begin, and this video clip is also on the Edison website. I'd like to begin with the video clip.
Thomas Edison High School of Technology is the Keystone Institute for College and Career Readiness.
When I graduate, I hope to attend a four-year university, go further into architecture, or also look into civil engineering.
At Edison, we offer so many opportunities for students as they attend classes and learn from industry-trained teachers.
Everybody is able to achieve in Edison.
This is my first step to go to college.
It's good because these programs are free. So if I were to go to cosmetology school, it would be a lot of money, but I can do it here for free.
The 18 exciting programs at Thomas Edison High School of Technology are open to all MCPS students. Free bus transportation is available for all students to and from their home school. So while you get to dive deep into the courses you've chosen at Edison, you can still participate in all the extracurricular activities at your home school, including the exciting arts and athletic events that happen throughout the year.
College and career readiness. That's our focus at Thomas Edison High School of Technology. Our students can earn college credit, industry certification, and even begin an apprenticeship in high school.
It's a good choice for me to start off my future in plumbing.
I want to get definitely a degree in nursing, and I want to look into sonogram technology.
The opportunities at Edison give you a chance to see what a career in graphic design, automotive technology, or healthcare is like at no cost. Identifying a career you will truly love before starting college can save you a lot of money.
It's extremely fun, and it's very different than what you would be learning in your other classes.
And if you feel ready to go to work after graduation, many of the pathways at Edison provide opportunities to obtain professional certifications that you can use to get that first job.
It gives students opportunity to learn things that they probably wouldn't learn in their normal school, and everybody here will walk out with something so that they can go off and have a real job.
We get opportunities that you don't get in any other school. We get to do Skills USA, which is an amazing competition where we get to learn a lot about ourselves.
The Skills USA competitions are exciting and competitive events that help you excel in your field. Competitions begin locally and continue to state and national levels. Skills USA makes students career-ready, productive, and promotable.
You work with people that is not from your high school, that is from other high schools, and you interact with them.
Get started by taking a tour. Our student tour guides will tell you what Edison is all about. Then visit your homeschool counselor and fill out an application, or fill out an application online. Start preparing for your future at Thomas Edison High School of Technology, the Keystone Institute for College and Career Readiness in Montgomery County.
Okay, so that gives you a nice overview of all of our 18 career readiness programs that we offer at Edison. And so one way that you can access our programs would be as a sophomore or a junior, where you would be applying, you would be attending your home high school, and then the other half of your day you would come to Edison to earn your industry certification. And what I share with our students is they have an advantage by coming to Edison, because once they earn that industry certification, they can begin working in that field of study while they take their college classes. So when they go to interview for that job, whether it be a nurse or an architect or a software engineer, a graphic designer, they have an opportunity to say, I have my college degree, and oh, by the way, I have 2 or 4 years of industry experience working in this field with my certification. And so it gives them an advantage over other students. And this upcoming year, and this is why it's so important this evening for you to be aware of this, starting in the year 2020-2021, students will be able to enroll to a partnership with Wheaton and Edison. For the past couple years that I've been at Edison, I have more parents and more students asking about, can I start earlier? Can I begin my journey at Edison in 9th grade? Well, what I'd like you to do is explore and learn about the 4 program connections we have that partners Wheaton programs with Edison programs. And so if you're an 8th grader and you're interested in learning about this, on October 10th, Wheaton High School is going to have their open house where you can tour their facility, learn about their different programs. The 4 pathways you can see here, this is on our school website. If you have an interest in construction management or architecture, restaurant or hospitality, information technology, cybersecurity, or Academy of Health Professions, those 4 programs are being designed to meet the needs of those students that have that interest, and they'll begin as a student at Wheaton High School, and they'll spend their 4 years as a Wheaton High School student, and right next door they'll be able to walk over to Edison, access our career readiness programs, and then walk back to their high school at Wheaton. If you go back up also, this is our school website, and we have our tours. So if you're interested in scheduling a tour, you just simply go to our school website, click on the link, you can schedule a date and time with Dr. Carlton, And then for our open house on October 15th, we have our open house scheduled to take place from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll have our industry-trained teachers. We'll have students that are currently in each one of our programs available to answer any questions you have, and you can learn about each and every one of our programs. So thank you again for joining us this evening. I'll be outside at the exit set up with a table. I have program information. You can also pull this website up on your cell phone. Just search for Edison MCPS, and you'll be able to access all the information on our programs. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Kraza and Ms. Walsh, for those presentations about the Visual Arts Center and Thomas Edison. At this time, this portion of the presentation is going to come to an end, and in a few moments, Ms. Logue will be beginning the presentation about the choice process in the Downcounty Consortium. Para los que prefieren, tenemos una presentación en español en la cafetería. Por favor, lo siento, mi español no es bueno. Okay? Thank you. We'll start again at 7.
Foul at the third baseline. Again, the initial thought was he might catch. The Max Scherzer started a doubleheader on Tuesday, but they elected to be a little more conservative and give him a few more days of work pre-game to strengthen the arm rather than in game conditions. But running out of games. So they've got to get Suzuki in there at some point this weekend. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a foul tip into the mid, and Gomes is out on strikes. Davis piling up the strikeouts. He's got 4. And now Michael Taylor will come to the plate. Good day for Taylor. A homer, a double, and a strikeout. 2 for 3. The home run in the second inning, his first of the year. To Taylor, misses outside, ball 1. Next pitch, well outside again with a changeup. It's 2-0. The Nationals are trying to secure their 90th win. The team that started 19-31. Is closing in on 90 wins. The 2-0 is too low. And that's ball 3. As they stand now at 20 games over, the 3-0 is a strike. The 20-game over mark now is a season's back.
thinking you guys. Second row? Yes, you should be in the second row because you're second anyway. So it'll be. Let me see if I can round up the rest. Did you? Casey's on his way.
I was like, she was right with me. I don't know. I assume she, because I directed the Spanish speakers, I assume.
Yes, thank you. We are getting ready to begin. We are going to be speaking tonight on the Academy programs and the lottery choice process. Hopefully you all grabbed an agenda when you came in, and we'll be here from 7 to about hopefully 7:50. Hopefully I won't be long-winded so that you have an opportunity afterwards to go out and speak to some of our students and coordinators from the high schools. If you need the presentation in Spanish, it is being offered in the cafeteria. But let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, good evening, and welcome to the Downcounty Consortium High School Options Fair, the Lottery Choice and Academy presentation. My name is Kathy Logue, and I work in the Division of Consortia Choice and Application Program Services, and I will be your host this evening. And I'm also joined behind me by some students and the Academy coordinators from all 5 of our amazing DCC high schools. Parents, first of all, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us this evening as your students embark on a journey to learn about what their options are as they start to think about their transition to high school. And my hope is that when you leave here this evening, that you say what I often think, wow, I wish I could go back to high school. These programs are amazing. They didn't have these programs when I was in school. So we've certainly come a long way. So to accomplish this, I'll start the presentation with an overview of the choice process and the timeline, and then we'll hear from our Academy coordinators and their students. At the conclusion of our presentation, we will all be available to answer individual questions that perhaps we didn't cover at our tables, and I will as well be available outside. In addition, if you refer to your agenda, the 8 p.m. session in here is going to be about interest-based and criteria-based application-only programs. So let's get started. So let's start with the very basics. The Downcounty Consortium, which I'll refer to as the DCC from this point forward, contains 5 high schools. High school student representatives and coordinators, if you could please stand when I announce your school. So they include Montgomery Blair, Albert Einstein, John F. Kennedy, Northwood, and Wheaton High School. So in the DCC, students do not automatically articulate to a high school like they did back in my day. They fill out a lottery choice form, and they rank order their preference of high school. Our mission tonight is to give you an overview of the Academy programs that exist at our DCC high schools so that when end of October, beginning of November comes, you are prepared to fill out those lottery choice forms. When you arrived, in your packet, you should have received a blue summary sheet. Looks like that. And this is a handout. And on that handout, the first thing you'll see the programs that exist at the DCC high schools, as well as the coordinator's name who will speak to you this evening, their open house date, and their website. And I encourage you to use this sheet as a reference tool as you navigate the choice process. So first, I'd like to address what the DCC schools have in common. So they actually have quite a bit in common. They all offer a comprehensive high school curriculum. Well, what does that mean? That means they're all going to offer the 22 credits that your child needs in order to graduate from high school. They're going to all offer courses such as biology, geometry, U.S. history, English, national, state, and local government, those courses that help you meet those requirements. They're all going to offer rigorous courses, such as honors classes and advanced placement courses. They're all going to offer services to support those learners that need special accommodations, which might be spelled out on an IEP support plan, or possibly because English is their second language. They all also have many sports teams and a variety of extracurricular activities So I encourage all of you, once you make it to high school, to get involved. And each of the high schools has an athletics and clubs tab on their website. So that's something you might want to take a look at in your spare time. The other thing is there's 9 middle schools in the DCC. So this is really an opportunity to meet a lot of new people and make a lot of new friends. So students, my message to you is you need to pick the right school for you. Not where your friend is necessarily going, but what is best for you, because you're going to meet a lot of different people at the because you have 9 middle schools that are transitioning into our high schools. All the schools also have unique partnerships with universities, colleges, and businesses, which the coordinators will expand on in a moment. But lastly, they all have academy programs, and that's where our differences begin. So I need to give you a foundation of what an academy is before you hear from the coordinators. So an academy is a sequence of courses. They're typically elective courses, and they typically relate to a career theme. They make the coursework your student is taking relevant. Typically, they take one course per year, and these courses complement the core courses they need to take in order to satisfy graduation requirement. It's a way of personalizing the high school experience and engaging students in meaningful work that links to a possible career. In addition, many of our schools have lead teachers for their academies, and oftentimes those lead teachers sometimes are even career changers. I was over at Northwood about 2 weeks ago and heard from one of their lead teachers who was actually in the business world as a fashion buyer, and now she is in charge of something called the Fame Academy, which you'll hear more about later. But all of our academies have lead teachers that help support them. Our schools in the DCC range in size from anywhere from 1,600 to 3,100. They're large. So what the academy programs accomplish is it gives them a smaller community of students that have like interests and teachers that they can connect with over those common interests. So there's a variety of academies offered, from science and technology to business to the arts to interdisciplinary programs, and most of them offer opportunity to earn college credit within those academy courseworks. I also want to talk about the fact some of the students may mention something called a capstone project. In order to become an academy completer, students often complete a capstone project, and that can take the form of an internship. It could take the form of an independent study project. And it's basically a culmination of their academy coursework. Now, not all students are academy completers. We want them to be, and we encourage them to select an academy during the registration visits that happen in January or February after they've been assigned to a high school. So that's a little bit about what an academy is. So let's segue and talk about the timeline. So September and October are very busy months for 8th graders, and especially 8th grade counselors and high school coordinators. So you're here this evening, and we're learning about DCC high schools. Can you raise your hand for me if you are in the audience and you attend a DCC middle school, but you actually reside in the Northeast Consortium? Do I have any families here that reside in the NEC? Okay, fantastic. You will have an opportunity next week on the 2nd to learn about the NEC high schools. So, DCC high school open houses also occur in October. The dates are on your summary sheet, and that's an opportunity for the high schools to really showcase what their school is about and for you to dig deeper and get more details about the programs that pique your interest tonight. I encourage you to go to as many of those as you can. I often hear parents walking out of them saying, wow, I'm really glad I came tonight. This wasn't a school I was originally considering, but this feels right to me. So you want to make sure you attend as many of those as you can. The other thing that happens in September and October is I have been meeting with your 8th grade counselors, those of you that attend DCC middle schools, and they've been learning about academy programs, and they've been hearing from students and coordinators from these programs as well. so that they can come back and share the information that they learned. And they'll be going into classrooms, if they haven't already, to give the students some tools to use to do research. And they're going to give them a booklet called a Milestones booklet. Probably will come home sometime in mid-October. And it'll give you additional information about the programs in the DCC. That booklet is also available right now on the DCC website, and our web address is on your summary sheet. So the other thing that's going to happen is choice form instructions are going to be mailed out to your homes in mid-October. So you're going to want to make sure that your address is updated and correct in the school's database, because that's the address we're going to use to mail to you, and it's also the address we are going to use to determine what your base high school is. And we'll talk about what base high school is a little bit later. So choice forms are going to be due on Friday, November 1st, and we'll send you reminders of this, and your counselors may set even earlier deadlines, but they're going to be due on November the 1st, which is the first Friday in November. So the other thing that happens in October and November is, do I have any families here that are private, from a private school? Fantastic. I'm glad you found out about our event and that you're here. So on October the 30th, we have an evening enrollment night for you. So we set aside evening hours for working parents so that you can come in and pre-register. You're going to need an ID number in order to participate in the choice process. So when you come in, you're going to want to call our office, because you'll have to provide some residency documents proving that you live in the DCC, and then they'll hand you a choice form that evening to fill out. So if that evening doesn't work for you, you can contact our office and set up another time to come in. But that is the dedicated evening hours for private school families to come in and pre-enroll. So all other MCPS students that are eligible will submit their choices using the student Google account, and it'll be a Google form, and the instructions will come to you, as I mentioned, in the mail, and they'll be due on November the 1st. And then in January, what happens is you'll get a letter in the mail telling you the results of the lottery and what school you've been assigned to. That happens in about mid-January. This is actually a screenshot of what the choice form looks like. And you'll see there's 5 different choices, and you're going to rank them 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, okay? The student does have to be logged into their Google account, which is linked to their ID number, and they're just going to submit those choices. There's a place for the parents, so you and your child need to do this together. There's a place for the parent to put their name down and their email. And then you'll get a PDF of the choices that you submitted via email. So that's your receipt that your choices have been submitted. If you have any difficulties with the form, middle school counselors have been practicing how to use that form. We did that just last week if you go to a DCC middle school. But again, those are going to be due on Friday, November 1st. I will tell you, too, as a former counselor at Silver Spring International, sometimes counselors will set an earlier due date than November 1st because they are tasked with getting 100% of their choice forms back. I can tell you that last year in the DCC, there was over about approximately 2,700 8th graders, and we only had 3 or 4 missing. So they do quite an awesome job, but they sometimes will tell you they might be due on the 30th or the 31st instead, because that gives them a little wiggle room. So please help them out. Make sure you get those forms turned in. And now, the best part of our presentation, we're going to get a sneak preview from our academy coordinators, and we're going to start tonight with Blair High School. So I'd like to introduce to you Beth Sanchez.
Thank you, Kathy. The academies at Blair work very hard to make our huge school seem smaller. Students pick one of our 5 career academies in the fall of freshman year. From there, counselors and academy lead teachers encourage students to take advantage of our electives and special events in order to fuel their passions and explore their career interests. Our key events every year are our capstone showcases. We have one in the fall and one in the spring for students to present their capstone projects. Every year, I am more impressed with the products from our students. Our entrepreneurship students highlight their work managing inventory, advertising, and selling merchandise through our school store using skills they learned in entrepreneurship, accounting, and marketing classes. We have great relationships with SunTrust Bank, HMS Host, and the University of Maryland, who regularly work with our students to build their business portfolios. Several of our students meet the requirements for the Business Management and Finance Career Cluster. Students in the Human Services Professions Academy learn how to teach children and showcase their skills by running our in-house preschool, interning at local elementary schools, and working as Bliss tutors in high school classes. We also offer a variety of opportunities in health and fitness careers. The work from our international studies and law students is always relevant and informative to our current political and global status. Our students participate in extracurriculars like mock trial, ethics bowl, and model UN. We offer pretty unique electives, including peace studies, international human rights, and global issues. Our STEM Academy features capstones from students who do independent research with local scientists and universities, intern at hospitals, and design computer programs and smartphone apps. Last but not least is our Media, Music, and the Arts. It's one of my favorite academies. The capstones are very creative and they really show off the talents of our students. You're going to hear just in a moment from one of our Media, Music, and the Arts students here, Meg Miller. It's really incredible what our students can do. I can't wait to see all of you come to Blair. Our open house is Thursday, October 3rd at 7. And now to hear a little bit more about Media, Music, and the Arts is Meg Miller.
Hi, my name is Meg Miller, and I am from the class of 2020 at Blair this year. I spent my 4 years at Blair in the Music, Media, and the Arts Academy. These 4 years have been extremely rewarding. I've taken 2 years of theater classes and 2 years of visual art classes throughout my time in this academy, studio art being the most gratifying of my classes at Blair. Studio art helped me craft my eye for aesthetic and has made me a better artist. On top of my classes in school, outside of school, I have been active in the Blair theater community on stage and backstage. MMA is the perfect academy for me. I've been in MMA, and it has brought lots of growth and fulfillment. My capstone project, exploring gender bias in cosmetology, was the perfect example of this, and also my favorite academy experience. I experimented with both makeup as a medium and as a social experiment. I explored applying makeup to both men and women. My goal was to try and change the gender bias around makeup. I wanted to display makeup on both men and women to try to change the gender bias around makeup. The capstone gave me a way to express my art and display my talents in cosmetology. Through the capstone process, I grew as an artist, and I'm looking forward to completing another capstone in the spring, possibly in another academy like the STEM Academy. The Music, Media, and the Arts Academy has given me the freedom to express what I want to do and explore careers in visual arts. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Lisa Gerhart, and I'm the Academy and Application Programs Coordinator for Wheaton High School. Please plan on joining me on October 10th for our open house. I'm excited to share with you tonight and talk about what happens at Wheaton. Wheaton High School is filled with people with passion. Passion for learning, passion for teaching, passion for trying new things, and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Whether your interests lie in biology and medicine, engineering, computer science, or global issues, there is a home for you at Wheaton High School. Teachers engage students with project-based learning, and our academy programs develop career-minded students who want to meet their career goals. Wheaton High School continues to be recognized by national indicators of student achievement, such as the U.S. News World and Report's Best High School List, the AP Advanced Placements National Scholars List, and the Washington Post's America Most Challenging Schools List. We have 4 academies, Each academy provides experiences that extend beyond the classroom through clubs, conferences, competitions, internships, and field trips. Students have the opportunity to take up to 15 hours of transcripted college credits before graduating. Now let's take a look at each program. Ask yourself, do you want to be a doctor, a nurse, a physical therapist, or work in the healthcare field? The Bioscience Academy has been recognized as the flagship bioscience program in the state of Maryland. It offers 4 biomedical courses through Project Lead the Way. Outside of the classroom, opportunities include visits to University of Maryland's Bioengineering School and Georgetown Medical School, being mentored by medical school students, and the assistance to get internships at NIH. And we'll hear from one of our students in just a minute in the bioscience program. If you're interested in designing and building the 21st century solutions to human problems, then you want to come be a part of our Engineering Academy. It too has been recognized as one of the top engineering programs in the country. It offers 6 engineering courses, and outside of those courses, we have students participating in so many different clubs, including the Robotics Club, which annually competes, a Rocket Club, Mathletes, the Science Bowl, and the Society for Women Engineers, who this year not only these ladies designed, built, and raced an electric car, they came home with first place. It was pretty impressive. And it was the first year they raced. Do you want to learn about computer programming languages? Our Academy of Information Technology is part of the nationally recognized National Academy Foundation and Code.org. Our computer science programming classes, our computer science classes in general, are growing tremendously. Each year we continue to grow exponentially, and they focus on website development, programming, and cybersecurity. Outside of there, we have clubs like Code with Girls Who Code, game development, and a new one called the Hack Club. I'm not sure about that one. If you're interested in exploring global cultures and have an interest in art, music, theater, and fine arts, our Global Studies Academy offers over 40 courses like economics, peace studies, law, digital art, and music technology. Opportunities outside of the classroom include working with street law, arts on the block, junior achievement, and Model UN. Wheaton High School is filled with passionate teachers and learners, and we welcome you. Please come back on October 10th and see what we're all about. I'd like to introduce now Lonnie Tran. She is a senior at Wheaton High School in our biomedical program, and she's going to talk about her experience. Lonnie?
Good evening. It is an honor to be here representing Wheaton High School. My name is Lonnie Tran, and I'm a student of Wheaton's Biomedical Sciences program. While there exists a multitude of fantastic elements about our school, my most distinctive memory consists of walking into my first ever bioscience class freshman year. Yellow caution tape, spotty footprints, crimson bloodstains, the outline of a body on the pearly floor. This is how our forensics unit began. In the following months, we investigated the scene, gathered evidence, and moved into the lab to determine the cause of death. Throughout this time, we learned and designed models on the specifics of diabetes, heart disease, sickle cell anemia, and a variety of other conditions. Our next few years granted us golden opportunities to work with the NIH BLAST database, protein sampling, antibiotic treatments, and gene amplification, all with the same equipment used in professional labs. We investigated fields like physiology, cancer, genetics, microbiology, and biomedical engineering. While developing transferable skills such as critical thinking and communication, we translate our traditional classroom knowledge into a material, physical reality. My favorite experiences, though, are those that bring authentic researchers to collaborate with us on our projects. We've had numerous scientists from the NIH, Walter Reed, University of Maryland, and Georgetown provide feedback on our work and offer networking opportunities. Through this, I was awarded an internship at UMD's Bioengineering School conducting ovarian cancer research, where I happily still work at today. But our strong academics and rich opportunities aren't the only things we students love about our school. Our Shakespeares and our Einsteins unify to develop our diversified culture both in and out of the classroom. And not only racially diverse, there's also an abundance of clubs and activities that allow students to step out of our comfort zone. Photography, cybersecurity, jazz band, women engineers, minority scholars, American Sign Language, and this doesn't even come close to encompassing our huge list of sports teams who play on our brand new field and building. High school can be full of fantastic memories, inspiring people, and visionary opportunities that you, too, can partake in so soon. It's a brand new chapter, and I hope you choose to write yours at Wheaton. See you there.
Good evening. My name is Casey Siddons, and I am the Academy Coordinator at John F. Kennedy High School. Welcome to our home. I would like you to first give a round of applause for the support staff that helped us get the building ready. If you can give them a round of applause. They did an awesome job. Second thing, we found a pair of keys. If you have trouble leaving the building today because you can't move your car, we have keys for you. Anyway, so my name is Casey Siddons, as I said, and I used to teach at Argyle Middle School and Sligo Middle School. And can I get a shout out for those who are excited to leave middle school? Yeah. Parents, are you excited for your child to leave middle school? Yes. Some things don't change, and including those who decide to not sit in the front. In every class you go into, everybody likes to sit in the back. I don't know why. Anyway, so welcome to Kennedy. We're so excited to tell you about what we have to offer. I know you got some taste of that from the front tables. But suffice it to say that ninth grade transition year is one of the most important transition years for students, as you are probably very well aware. All the research that you can read about how to make life successful for your child when they go into ninth grade talks about how do you make that transition smooth, ensure they feel included, and they have a sense of belonging. And as a former consulting teacher where I went around to many different schools in almost every single high school in this county supporting new teachers, I can assure you that every single DCC high school will offer that for you. My focus right now is to talk about how Kennedy can offer an opportunity for your child to be very successful and offer a smaller learning community and an engaged environment for anybody that's interested coming into ninth grade. So, big picture. If you starting with the health professions, Kennedy has an incredible amount of offerings for kids that don't pigeonhole them into one specific area. Starting with the health professions, students can pursue 2 different tracks and soon to be a 3rd track. One is the Certified Nursing Assistant program. And that you would go with Barbara Marchwicki, who is our CNA teacher, and she actually takes students into the field and they work at Manor Care as an internship, and they learn how to basically work in the health professions. We also have the CCMA program, which is led by Dr. Martrice Brown, and there are some similar tracks for them to go through as well. The 3rd track that we're working on and that will probably be in place in the next year will be the physical therapy track for students who are interested in sports medicine or physical therapy programs. For the second one I want to talk about is the Business Administration and Management Academy, and I'm going to let Faith, who's right behind me, Faith Cooper, she's going to talk about her experience with the Business Administration and Management Academy, but their focus is on entrepreneurship, starting businesses, how do you manage people, how do you work with different businesses in that kind of environment. Ms. Stover is the lead teacher for the Business Administration Academy, and she's wonderful. Next, on the left, middle, we have the Broadcast Journalism and Communications Academy. This is a very special academy. We have Mr. Dempsey in the back. You can give a wave. He's awesome. So he's also from middle school, so he's got some PTSD from middle school as well, but we're excited to have him. The Broadcast Journalism Academy, we have a very tight partnership with the PBS NewsHour program. If you've ever watched PBS NewsHour, they have a thing called Student Reporting Labs. And they work with our students to produce content that they produce and actually show on PBS NewsHour on occasion. We're the only high school in Montgomery County that offers the PBS NewsHour connection. So keep that in mind. Second, or the next one on the right, we have the Teacher Academy of Maryland. It's in its second year. We are the only teacher academy in Montgomery County Public Schools. Last year, of 1,100 new teachers that we hired in Montgomery County Public Schools, 28% came from Montgomery County. We need more teachers who know our students and know what our experience is like in Montgomery County. It's a growing program, and I would love for you to learn more about it. Last, on the last row, we have NJROTC. Can we give those NJROTC volunteers a hand, please, because they welcomed you. They are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. They did an awesome job. It's not just about military. You might think it's just about military, but it's about being civic-minded. It's about citizenship and being a good person. Middle, we have the Leadership Training Institute led by Kofi Frempong. You saw him as you entered. That's really focused, again, on citizenship and leadership, and he runs an amazing program. He has a table out there. Please talk to him. And Faith can also talk about that a little bit in her speech as well, because she's a part of the Leadership Training Institute. And last but not least, we have the International Baccalaureate Program, soon to be one of the regional magnet programs for IB, which would be mimicking what Richard Montgomery has. And I cannot urge you enough to learn more about the programs that we're going to offer, including the regional IB. You are not constrained to one academy. You can join several, like Faith here. And I'd also like to mention Faith Lowry Johnson. She's over here. Wait, give a wave. She's awesome. She's also in multiple academies and has experience in international baccalaureate courses. And before I continue to rant, I would like to bring up Miss Faith Cooper. She is going to speak to you about her experience with the Business Administration and Management Academy. So please give her a big round of applause.
Good evening. My name is Faith Cooper, class of 2020 here at John F. Kennedy High School. Currently, I'm enrolled in the Business Administration Academy and the Leadership Training Institute. When I first entered Kennedy, I was very shy, lacking confidence in most of the work that I produced. Being a part of the Business Academy pushed me out of my comfort zone and allowed me to learn things I never even thought I was interested in. Each academy course, from software application design to IB business management, taught me skills that I not only need for the classroom, but for the outside world too. Due to joining the Business Academy, I will be graduating with a certification as a Microsoft Office specialist with Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. One of my favorite experiences with the Business Academy is the Women in Business Conference at the University of Maryland. I got to meet other young women interested in business, and we also got to work together on a business presentation. Another thing that the Business Academy has started are table talks, where we meet many successful entrepreneurs in our area and we're able to learn about what they do. I'm very thankful for the Business Academy and the LTI Academy, as it's giving me much more confidence and many opportunities. After graduating high school, I look forward to pursuing a degree in the broadcast and journalism and one day becoming a great author. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Holly Jones, and I am the Academy Coordinator at Northwood High School, home of the Gladiators. Yay! Welcome. As you have heard from many of my distinguished colleagues, we believe our Academy programs help to shape the lives of our students and are thrilled that many of them extend their Academy work beyond high school, pursuing college degrees and careers directly related to their Academy experiences. At Northwood, we currently have Academy graduates practicing law, teaching dance, performing professionally, developing mentoring programs, working in government agencies, studying to be scientists, and serving on the Montgomery County Police Force. We have 5 fantastic academies and an MC² program at Northwood. We have our FAME Academy, Finance, Accounting, Marketing, and Education. We have our HAM Academy, which is Humanities, Art, and Media. We have our AMTAD Academy, Music, Theater, and Dance, our PAL Academy, Politics, Advocacy, and Law, and our TESS Academy, which is the Academy of Technological, Environmental, and System Sciences, and our MC Squared program, which stands for Montgomery College Middle College program at Northwood, where our second cohort of students graduated last year with their associate's degree about 3 weeks before they graduated with their high school diploma. Please come by our table and speak with our exceptional students, including one of our MC Squared students, Elizabeth Wilmarth, to hear more about these programs. Give a wave, Elizabeth, yes. But now I'm going to tell you a story about an Academy student, and we'll call him David. David was a self-taught dancer. In middle school, he watched programs on TV, So You Think You Can Dance, Dance Moms, YouTube videos, whatever young people are watching these days, he watched it. David in his living room tried to mimic what he saw, but he had no formal training. When he came to Northwood as a freshman, housing this raw talent, he was ready to learn, but he didn't think for a moment that this would take him anywhere beyond the high school walls. His academy teachers quickly saw he was meant for greater things, moving him into upper-level academy classes almost immediately. Through his academy, David had the opportunity to participate in academy events, field trips, job training opportunities, resume building, the audition and job interview process, extracurricular performances, AP classes, workshops, rigorous curriculum, master classes, access to guest speakers, you name it, he was involved. Throughout his time at Northwood, David expanded on his academy classes and experiences and became a master's student, teacher, performer, and choreographer, creating full-length performances for his four-year culminating academy capstone project, and performances just for fun. He became a two-time AXO gold medalist in dance for Montgomery County and a two-time bronze medalist in dance at their nationals competitions. He is now at the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, receiving a full ride, where he continues to pursue his passion and travel the globe. When he entered Northwood, he knew he had an interest, but he had no clue that it would evolve into his life's passion. This is why academies matter, why they are important. Because of the amazing programs we have here in the DCC, he was able to find his home, his voice, his passion. And his story is reflected in all of our DCC students. And whether you're into dance, physics, engineering, or creative writing, there is a place for you. So as you navigate this process, keep an open mind, ask questions, get involved, attend all of our open houses, and learn about our schools. We hope that you will let us help you, your children, find their voice and their passion. Please join us on October 22nd at Northwood for our open house, 6 p.m. if you want to learn more about our MC Squared program, and 7 p.m. For our full open house. And we look forward to meeting you. I now invite to the podium another one of our amazing stories, a true example of the incredible students we have at Northwood, an advocate for education, a natural leader, and a compassionate community member whose passion and dedication I know will take her far, Ayanna Croft.
Hello, I am Ayanna Croft, and I am currently a senior at Northwood High School. I chose the Finance, Accounting, Marketing, and Education Academy, FAME for short, because for as long as I can remember, I have wanted to be a teacher and have enjoyed working with kids. By now, you probably have figured out that I chose the education pathway in FAME. My favorite experience in FAME was the field trip to the Say Yes to Teaching Expo, where we were able to attend various workshops about the different career possibilities in the education field. Both my parents work in elementary schools, and I have been surrounded by many amazing educators that inspire me to be the best teacher I can be. The FAME Academy has provided me the opportunity to earn the 90-hour, 9-day certificate in early childhood education. Having the 90-hour, 9-day certificate helped me qualify for a counseling position with Kids After Hours at Highland View Elementary School. I started my junior year, and I am continuing to work at that school. The hard work I have done in the education field through the FAME Academy has helped me feel confident and excited during my application process for an internship position at Highland View for my senior year. Currently, I am interning with a first grade teacher who is actually my sister's kindergarten teacher. Some of the things I do in my internship include working on behavior management skills, working one-on-one with students who need help, and teaching small group lessons. I plan to create a lesson plan that adheres to the new reading curriculum that my school is a pilot for, and work on it with the kids. The FAME Academy has prepared me with a strong foundational skills to pursue my passion of teaching. After graduation, I plan to attend a 4-year college and major in early childhood education with a minor in special education. I hope that other students who are interested in teaching have the opportunity to participate in the FAME Academy. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Trisha Gooley, and I am the Academy Coordinator at Albert Einstein High School. And I really don't think there's too much more to say about the merits of the Academy programs within the DCC that my colleagues have not already mentioned, so I will not go through all of those things again. One thing I would just like to stress is that what Kathy said at the beginning about each program being a part of a comprehensive high school and really taking the time to look at the whole high school. Yes, the academy programs are a huge part of some of our students' lives, but I also think finding the right fit for your student and the right building and community and after school programs is just as important. So I'd really encourage you to take the time to visit the schools and go to as many open houses as you can and really get the overall feeling of the school and where your student feels the most comfortable. At Einstein, we have 4 separate academy programs. Our first academy is Finance and Business, which also introduces students to the broad career opportunities in the financial services industry. Besides just the Academy of Finance, which is also a part of the National Academy Foundation, we also have Pathways in Computer Science, College and Career Readiness, Hospitality Management, and Technology Education. A large part of this academy is our internship program, where students have the opportunity to go into the community, work with business professionals, and oftentimes our internships are paid opportunities for the students, so they're also able to start making money while they're in high school. Our next academy program is Visual and Performing Arts, which is by far our largest academy at Einstein. We have over 540 students enrolled in the VAPA Academy. Students complete a pathway in either performing arts or visual arts. For performing arts, we offer tracks in dance, instrumental music, music technology, theater, and vocal music. And in visual arts, we have ceramics and sculpture, digital art, photography, and studio art as well. And most students complete a minimum of 3 fine arts credits and then also do their capstone projects where they're paired with a faculty mentor to create a final project. We have the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, which provides highly motivated students the opportunity to pursue a rigorous, comprehensive curriculum based on a global and international perspective. Students have the option to pursue the full IB diploma. They also have the option to do a certificate of completion if they're not looking to do the full diploma program. Our IB program is open access, and actually all of our academy programs are open access at Einstein, meaning if the student is at Einstein, they can take part in one academy or multiple academies. Our final academy is Renaissance, and the Renaissance Academy is really focusing on college readiness. We're going to emphasize the development of 21st century skills in students and their application across all the different subject areas, so they can really choose an overall area of focus, and it gives them a really strong liberal arts foundation. And those programs are really going to focus on our AP Scholars, our Maryland Seal of Biliteracy, and our dual enrollment opportunities with Montgomery College. One special program we do house at Einstein is the VAC, or the Visual Arts Center. That is an application program, but those students are also an integral part in our Einstein community. We're extremely proud of the fact that no matter what academy program the students choose, they have access to higher level and rigorous coursework. Each academy has at least 5 college level courses within the academy, and as a whole school, we have over 60 such opportunities for the students. Just 2 new programs on our horizon that I'd like to briefly mention. Starting next year will be the Teacher Academy of Maryland. Sorry. Kennedy won't be the only one with it. We are looking to open a cohort of students, sorry. And also, we're going to be expanding our dual enrollment program. It's a program called the Jumpstart to College Pathway, where students can either earn certain coursework in dual enrollment where they'd also be earning their college credits at the same time, and even to the fact where they'd be ready to enroll as a sophomore by the end of their college career. And at this time, I would like to invite up Miss Lauren Madison, who is one of our visual and performing arts students, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about her experience in the VAPA Academy. And I hope that you guys can all join us. We are the last open house on Thursday, October 24th. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. Hello. My name is Lauren Madison. I'm a junior at Albert Einstein High School, and I am part of the VAPA program. In case you didn't know already, VAPA stands for Visual and Performing Arts. One of my favorite parts of the VAPA program is our dance concerts. I'm part of the lighting crew and have been for the past 3 years, so I've loved working with and watching the dances. All of our dance concerts have a big variety of music and a lot of different dance music and dances, sorry. Another huge plus is that during our spring dance concert, we also have our annual VAPA Academy art exhibit. So you get to see the talent of our visual artists and also the talent of our dancers. The VAPA classes that I have taken are drawing and design, ceramics, studio art, and I'm currently taking AP two-dimensional art. All of these classes were taught by Miss Harnish or Miss Hayes, who are 2 VAPA teachers whom I love so much. All of the VAPA teachers at our school are very supportive, and they love talking to you and helping you. I love all of them. As for my favorite VAPA class, I think that so far I've really enjoyed studio art, where I got to dive deeper than pencil on paper. I got to work more with canvas and other surfaces. I also learned how to use watercolor and charcoal and acrylics and collaging and a lot of other things. As for the future, I will always enjoy drawing in my free time. I always have. That's how I really started, was just with my hobby. And I'm also planning on maybe selling my art on shirts or shower curtains or something cool like that. It's a thing. It's a thing. I promise. I really do believe that VAPA is a program for anyone interested in the arts, no matter how much experience that you have. I walked into Einstein for the first time, not knowing the difference between a number 2 pencil and graphite pencils, and now I'm using all different kinds of mediums. So it really is a program for anyone of any level. So I know I've talked a lot about the visual aspect and the dance aspect, but we do have a very large variety of different art classes. So if you're interested, I really do believe that you would work very well with our VAPA program. Thank you all.
Wow. I'm always so impressed to hear our students and the composure and the presence they have up on stage at such an early age. I could have never done that at their age. So nice job. Let's give them one more round of applause. So I want to finish up this evening by talking about how the lottery process is run. So I'm going to try to go through quickly because I want you all to have an opportunity to go out in the hallway and talk to our students and coordinators before the 8 p.m. presentation. So the lottery is run through a computerized lottery system, and there are a variety of factors that are considered. One of those factors is base high school. The base high school is based on where you live. So if you live in the DCC, when you get your letter in the mail in mid-October, it will tell you what your base high school is, and it is based on the address we have in our system. If you place your base high school as your first choice, you will be guaranteed a seat at that high school, okay? If you place your base high school as your second choice and the first choice school isn't available, then it would be guaranteed, okay? Those are the 2 times it's guaranteed. Please make sure you fill out your choice forms carefully, because once you've submitted your choices in November, you cannot change them once we put them into the lottery. So I'm going to say that for you one more time. If you put your base school down as your first choice, it's a guarantee. You're being assigned there. If you put it down as your second choice, but the first choice that you put's already enrolled to capacity, you'll get your second choice, okay? If you put it as third, fourth, or fifth, it just goes into the random lottery. And I'll make this more clear in a moment when we talk about how the lottery is run and the other factors that are considered. If you're not sure of what your base high school is, you can go to the assignment locator tool on Montgomery County's website, and that IP address is on your summary sheet if you're not sure. So the other variables that are going to be considered in the lottery is what's the school capacity? How many seats are available for students in 9th grade? And that's determined at the county level. How did students rank their choices? How many students selected their base? Is there a sibling link? And I'll define sibling link in a moment. The other thing it considers is socioeconomic status, using the number of students who have been on free and reduced meals, and gender. We call that EverFarm. So let's talk about sibling link first. Sibling link exists when you have a brother or a sister that's going to be attending that high school that following school year when you're starting. If they graduated, the sibling link's broken. They also have to be in the comprehensive program. They can't be assigned to that high school because they got in through an application program. They have to be at that school because they were assigned there through the lottery choice process, not through magnet, okay? So that's sibling link. So just to kind of give you a visual, let's just pretend, and this is a random number, that there are 400 seats available at, I'm going to just pick Northwood, at Northwood High School. We have 200 kids that have Northwood as a base, and they put it as their first choice. Those first 200 seats are gone because they're going to base students. We have another 50 students who have an older sibling at Northwood that got into Northwood through the lottery choice process, not through the application to MC squared. So those 50 students have a sibling link. They go the next 50 seats. So we have 250 seats gone. We have 150 left. So those 150 students, they go put into the lottery. It's computerized. And what it does is it balances the 5 schools for EverFarms and for gender, so that we don't have one school that's all male and one that's all female. So it balances it, and it tries to maximize the first choice rate. So last year in the DCC, our first choice rate was, I believe it was 83%, 82 or 83%, okay? So that's how the lottery is run, and those are the factors that are involved. And if you have questions about that, I'm available after the presentation to answer those. The other question that we often get asked is transportation provided? Transportation is provided to students who live in the DCC if you're outside the 2-mile boundary, okay, walking distance, that's set by the county. So I also encourage you, though, logistically, you need to look at, I always recommend that families go on our MCPS website and type in the search bar, bus routes by school. Look at the bus route to Wheaton or Kennedy or wherever you're thinking about going to see, does that time, because they don't change a great deal each year, does that time and does that location fit with your morning routine? I have a 13-year-old that I can't get out of bed, so he would have to go to the closest school possible with the latest bus stop or latest bus pickup. So anyway, think logistically before you fill those choices out. So that's something to consider. The other question we often get asked is how many students do we have in here that reside outside of the Downcounty Consortium area, but they attend a DCC middle school? Okay, we have a couple. You will also be eligible to participate in the lottery. The only students eligible to participate in the Downcounty Consortium lottery are students that reside in the DCC or they attend a DCC middle school, because we have immersion programs, middle school magnet consortiums, and magnet programs at Tacoma Park and Eastern, so we have students living outside the DCC. But if you go to a DCC middle school, you are eligible to participate in the Downcounty Consortium lottery to be assigned to one of our DCC high schools. But those students are going to participate in what we call round 2. Okay? So round 2 happens, you'll get a letter in the mail in mid-January, and you'll fill out a choice form at that time. It'll be due in February, on February 14th, actually. And you'll get an assignment letter in the mail in March. So I just wanted that group to know that that's what we call round 2, okay? So back to the timeline a little bit. In February, I mentioned the round 2 deadline. Round 2 is for those students that are attending DCC middle schools but living outside the consortium. It's also for students who may have moved into the area after November 1st, when round 1 was. It's also an opportunity for students who participated in round 1. If you did not get your first choice, you can resubmit your original choices into the round 2 lottery. Okay, you can't change your choices, but you can resubmit your originals if you didn't get your first choice. Because what happens at that time of year is students start accepting seats at application-only programs, and that opens up a few seats at our DCC schools. So just know that opportunity exists, and we'll publicize that in the assignment letter when you get them. And round 2 results come out in March. And then in April, we will start looking at appeals. If you feel like you have a unique hardship that would warrant over-enrolling a school that you didn't get during the choice process, we start looking at appeal letters at that time. So high school change of choice is another thing I wanted you to be aware of. If your student chooses a school and gets there in 9th grade and is just not, it wasn't what they thought and it wasn't a good fit for them, they will have an opportunity to participate in what's called change of choice, and that's for current high school students. They can request a school other than the one that they're at for the 10th grade, and that happens in February. Those forms are due in February, okay? At that time, the only guarantee would be a base high school, but if there's space available at a school, then we would grant it. But I want you to know that if they get there and are unhappy, this is a process that we do have in place called change of choice. So we are going to conclude this portion of the presentation, but I wanted to mention to you that if you are interested in the Communication Arts program at Blair, the Leadership Training Institute at Kennedy, or the Biomedical and Engineering Application-Only program at Wheaton, there's going to be a presentation in here at 8 o'clock about those programs. Those are programs that are specific to the DCC. The only students eligible to apply to those programs at this time are DCC residents and students attending DCC middle schools. I also want to tell you that even if your child applies to those programs, they still have to turn in their choice form. They're totally separate processes. If you look at the list, I don't want to read it to you because we're really out of time. These are some other programs, that application-only programs that will be spoken about at the 8 o'clock session, and they're outside of the regular choice process. But if you're interested in learning more about those programs, there'll be a presentation at 8 o'clock. I want to thank you all for being here. You received a survey when you came in. If you wouldn't mind filling those out, I look at that every year in planning for this event, and your feedback means the world to me. And I just want to say, our motto in the DCC is I can thrive at all 5, and you can see from our amazing students that it really is the case. So thank you for being here. We look forward to working with you.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know that you've been here a while, you've been sitting, and yet we need to go ahead and get moving. Buenos tardes, familias. Bienvenidos. Para los que prefieren, tenemos una presentación en español en la cafetería. Okay, if I may ask, please, good evening. I'm Sabrina Jones. I'm with the Division of Consortia Choice and Application Program Services. And if I may ask, if you are still asking questions and things, if you can exit the auditorium so that those people who want to hear this part of the presentation are able to do so, we'd greatly appreciate you doing that as quickly as possible. Tonight's agenda, we're going to talk about the countywide and some DCC only, as well as regional application programs. And we're going to give you just a preview of those programs this evening. I recognize that some of this information you will have heard because I was sitting here, I heard the previous presentation, but I also know that some people are just coming for this portion. So please forgive us if you have had some repetition. We're also going to talk a little bit about the admission process. I'll review some frequently asked questions and the timeline for this process. When we finish, the people who are out at the table fair will remain, and you will still have an opportunity to ask them some questions. Hopefully, when you came in, you were given several handouts. It should have included a pink form. On one side, it talks about the application process. On the other side, it lists all of the open houses. In addition, many of you have a purple form. If you came from somewhere outside the DCC, you might have a different color. That's going to list the programs that are available to your particular high school. And then you have two white forms. One is a packet that's stapled together. It has information about all of the programs. It's called our At a Glance, and I'll be referring to that again later. And finally, there's a capture sheet with a few of the critical slides and opportunity for you to jot some notes. This is extremely important. The lottery choice process that you just heard described is different and separate from the processes that I will talk about this evening. So we're going to talk about applications, and some of those programs have a lottery or an interest base, but that process is different and separate from the choice process. If you are a student in the Downcounty Consortia, or if you are a student in the Northeast Consortium, you will need to do the choice process. All of the things that I'm going to talk about today are optional. So the choice process is not optional. I know that's a little odd to say. The choice process is not optional, but the application programs are optional. So the programs that we have available for you are all listed in the At a Glance, and I'm going to start with the county-wide programs. These are generally programs where students are working at an accelerated instructional pace. And you might find that there's going to be a lot of information in this presentation, but please note that all of these things are going to be posted online, and the presentations themselves are also posted online. So if you don't get all of the information, I know there's a lot and the slides can be very full. You don't get it all right now in this moment, there are still opportunities, and you also will have opportunities to visit open houses to get more detailed information. But if you're interested, these next 3 slides are going to provide us a more detailed look at the countywide magnets. I'm going to just highlight a few points. Let's start with the program at Blair High School. There's a science, mathematics, computer science magnet program. Students who have an interest in even one of these areas, so maybe you're a science person or maybe you're a math person, this might be something for you to consider. These students go to Blair High School full-time. They start in the 9th grade, and they are part of an academic group, and they will work in courses in math, science, and computer science all 4 years that they're at Blair. The work is at an accelerated pace, and students must be in an algebra class or higher to be able to consider that program. The Global Ecology House at Poolsville, similar model to the program at Blair in terms of you still need to have algebra or higher. It's similar in that students take 3 courses each year. They're the magnet courses. They focus on environment, sustainability, and science. Now, I know Poolsville is a little distance away, but for those of you who have a keen interest in that program, please consider going out to their open house and getting additional information. And finally, I'll talk briefly about you're going to hear more about some of these. I'll talk briefly about the program at Richard Montgomery. It's an IB program, and it's a county-wide magnet. For the IB program, and this will be true of the county-wide as well as the regional programs, students need to be in algebra or higher, and they need to be ready for a 2nd year of Spanish, French, or Chinese. So it could be that they've passed the level 1, or it could be that that is a primary language for them, but they need to be prepared to take the 2nd year of Spanish, French, or Chinese. Upon completing a program in International Baccalaureate, students can earn a diploma that is internationally recognized, and I know you've already heard quite a bit about that today. There are some application programs that are available only to students residing in the Downcounty Consortium or attending a Downcounty Consortium middle school. Those include the Leadership Training Institute, which is at Kennedy High School, Communication Arts, also known as CAP, at Blair High School, and there are 2 Project Lead the Way programs, PLTW for short. One is biomedical, one is engineering. Remember, if you choose to apply to any of these programs, you still have to submit your choice form, and all of the forms are due on the 1st of November. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Kofi Frempong, who's going to talk a little bit more about the Leadership Training Institute.
Good evening. My name is Kofi Frempong. I am the coordinator of the Leadership Training Institute. The Leadership Training Institute is the signature program here at John F. Kennedy High School. It emphasizes group decision-making, project management, critical thinking, team building, and community service. It is founded on the pillars of participation, academics, service, and ethics. If you're a student who is highly motivated to succeed, intellectually curious, eager to be challenged academically, and willing to try new approaches, this is the program for you. You can get a hands-on experience of what it means to be a student within the Leadership Training Institute during the open house for Kennedy High School on Thursday, October 17th. And now I'd like to introduce Ms. Sarah Philman, who will be representing Blair High School.
Hello, good evening. The Communication Arts program is focused on the humanities, and so English and history are the core courses that they will be taking each year. We front-load our program, and so they'll take 4 CAP-related classes their freshman year for their sophomore year. 3 their junior year, and 2.5 their senior year. So it's designed to allow them to take classes the older they get based on their interests. We are project-based, and like I said, focused on the humanities. And so we give our students a lot of hands-on experience. If they like to debate, act, be behind a camera, in front of a camera, if they like to write, then this will be the program for them. Thank you. I forget who's up next. Okay, come on up.
Hello again, it's me, Lisa Gerhardt. I'm from Wheaton High School, and I'm excited to talk to you about our application-only programs. We have 3 application-only programs this year. The first one is our biomedical program. In this program, the curriculum is Project Lead the Way. We provide hands-on opportunities for students to really explore medicine, medical careers, and biology at a deeper level. What I love about this program is that they get to actually explore and dive deep into one research problem that they like, and they get to work on this research. They ask the research question. They work with a graduate student at the University of Maryland Medical School, and they work with them throughout the year as part of their AP Biology course. In May, they present their findings, they present their research with a scientific poster at a symposium at the University of Maryland. It's pretty cool to see students in the 11th grade dressed up, talking scientifically with their graduate students right next to them, and it's an amazing event. It's really cool, and it's one of the things that our biomedical students do. Our second application-only program is our engineering program. Again, this is Project Lead the Way. This is an amazing opportunity where students are learning hands-on. They're learning about robots. They're learning about airplanes. They're learning about rockets, and they're building them and flying them, and they're coding them, and they're doing the work that it takes in order to make these things successful. Their capstone project is a course called Engineering Design and Development, where the students work collaboratively in a group, and they are problem-solving a solution to a problem, right? So there's a problem that they come up with, and they figure out a solution to it, then they build the solution. For example, let's say there's an emergency, and we have a student up here on a wheelchair, and we have to get them out, but there's all these stairs. So can we modify a wheelchair so that it can go up and down stairs so that a student can safely evacuate on their own without having to be carried or without having to have emergency services come in? So that's the kind of projects that they're doing. Real world problems, building and designing it. They'll take the wheelchair, they'll recreate it, they'll take it apart, they'll try to modify it, they'll use 3D printers in order to do that. They're working hands-on with mentors that come into the building and work with the students. And at the end of the year, again, they're presenting their project as well to the community and to the scientists and the engineers that are working with them. So these are our two application-only, criterion-based. Students have to take a test, they have to fill out the application, they write the essay, and they go through that process. The third program that we have is brand new to us this year. Whoops. And it is with Wheaton and Edison. So it's with the Edison program, and it was talked about a little bit at the 6:30. So Wheaton and Edison are combining together, and then what we've done is we found that our 4 academies and some of their programs actually kind of align together. And so students will be able to say they want to come to Edison and be a Wheaton student. They would take all of their courses at Wheaton High School. They would have their graduation requirements, and the park testing, the HSA, all of those things would happen at Wheaton High School. They would be a Wheaton Knight. They would be able to participate in the theater, drama, sports, whatever it is. And then when the time came in their academic program, they would pop on over to Edison, and they would get the certification, and they would take the courses at Edison. It's a new partnership. MCPS likes to build the plane while we're flying it, and so welcome aboard. We're all about to get on the plane and fly this. And so it is an opportunity for students to try something different and to have a connection between both schools. If you have any questions, I'm here this afternoon, or this evening. Feels like this afternoon, it's been a long day. I'm here this evening, I'll be out there, and we also have a table out there. I look forward to talking to you more about our great programs at Wheaton High School. Thank you. And I'm going to introduce Mike Souter. He is from MC Squared at Northwood High School.
Good job. Thank you. Right? We're good? Are we wrong? We're in the wrong order. Who's next? I don't Okay, there we go. All right, hello everybody. My name is Mike Sauter and I'm the coordinator of the MC Squared, which is the Montgomery College Middle College program at Northwood High School. The MC Squared program allows a student to be able to earn a college degree before they get a high school diploma. Let that sink in for just a moment. Students, through a combination of advanced placement courses and dual enrollment courses where Montgomery College professors come to teach Montgomery College classes first at Northwood High School through 11th grade, and then students go on to the Rockville and Tacoma Park campuses in 12th grade. Many of them are full-time college students on the campuses in 12th grade, and they are able to earn over 60 college credits. So, in the University of Maryland University system, that is the cap for transferable credits coming from a high school. And the students, we see our graduates up there from our first year. We had 5 graduates. Last year we had 12. Those students are now, the first 5 were Terrapins from the start. So they're all Terps right now. The second group of 12 were a much more diverse group in terms of their choices of what they wanted to do. They were accepted at places like Virginia Tech, Howard, Penn State, Berkeley, Loyola Marymount, UMBC, one of them runs cross country for UMBC, Ursinus, one of them runs cross country for Ursinus, Hofstra, Morgan State, George Mason, Louisiana State, Georgia Tech. And they're all walking into these places surrounded by envy, jealousy, because they're walking in with all their gen eds done. So, talking to a couple of students at the University of Maryland today who have been there for like a month and a half, and they're talking about the multiple degrees that they're going to be able to earn before their 21st birthday. They're looking at multiple majors. One of them told me he's in a master's program. He's going to be done in 3 years with a master's, 3 years out of high school. You can only get this at Northwood High School and the MC Squared program. And the way you do it, if you live in the DCC, you make Northwood your #1 choice. There's not an entrance exam. You're going to come here, you're going to put on the common application, you definitely need to mark MC Squared, put Northwood as your first choice. You're going to come see us on October 22nd at 6 o'clock to learn everything you need to know about it. If you're from outside the DCC, again, you're going to use the application program to do so, the Common App, and we'd love to have you. Come on and earn some credits. Next up, Kia Davis.
Good evening. I will never go after him again. My name is Kia Davis, and I'm the proud coordinator of the soon-to-be regional International Baccalaureate Diploma Program here at John F. Kennedy High School. As you prepare to eventually enter and graduate as the class of 2024, you will have the opportunity to earn 2 diplomas, one from the state of Maryland and the International Baccalaureate Diploma, which thus far has been earned by 1.2 million students in 147 countries across the globe. This not only gives you makes you one of the most attractive candidates when you're applying to your colleges and universities, as well as the scholarships associated with those colleges and universities. It also makes you some of the best prepared people on campus to not only succeed there, but to actually graduate. Most people don't know that the national graduation rate from college barely hovers at the 50% mark, and IB goes about making an intentional design so that students are really ready for the rigors of college before they get there. When you make the decision to come to John F. Kennedy High School Regional IB, you will automatically have an academic peer group that's versatile enough to strengthen those peer relationships that have been demonstrated to get you through some of your most challenging coursework. But it's also flexible enough to allow you to pursue your individual passions. IB is about developing internationally minded, principled young people that will change the world through whatever discipline they choose to pursue. Here at Kennedy High School, we offer 24 IB courses, which makes us one of the highest, if not the highest, IB course count in the county as far as the diploma program. But if you choose, the IB diploma students here can combine their studies with our Leadership Training Institute, which you heard about tonight, the Business Management, Health Professions, NJROTC, our internship programs, and the Broadcast Journalism Academies, making many of our students dual academy, double diplomaed, and potentially bilingual upon graduation. If you're interested in becoming a well-balanced, globally minded, principled student who's grounded in the research practices that it takes to get through undergraduate and graduate programs, we welcome you to check off John F. Kennedy High School IB Regional. And if you're confused, this is not actually in my little speech, you also have the option to check off, as they probably said earlier, the Richard Montgomery IB. When I was out at the table, I had several questions about that. Montgomery County has taken the charge in opening up access to what we see as the Richard Montgomery application program, and they now have 4 centers that will pretty much mirror each other. There will probably be some small tweaks in the courses here or there, because like I said, we have different academies here at Kennedy High School. So other than that, that IB program, that application IB program at Richard Montgomery will be at Kennedy High School, Springbrook High School, and Watkins Mill High School starting the fall of you guys' freshman year. If you have any more questions, of course, I'll be outside. And our open house at Kennedy, as Mr. Frempong probably said, is October 17th at 6:30 right here. And now, one of my colleagues, IB coordinator at Rockville High School, Lori Ainsworth.
Good evening. I'm the IB program coordinator at Rockville High School. And in Montgomery County Public Schools, we have 2 of the IB career programs. The IB career program at Rockville High School will be on the choice list for next year for students that are interested in exploring not only the benefits of the IB program, which you've heard from Kia and from others, the global-minded citizens working on research, critical thinking, and developing a more worldly global person that is well-balanced and well-prepared for college. What's different about the diploma program and the career program is that the career program allows students to combine it's a more flexible model in that students can select from the IB menu. Many of the students in the IB career program also take AP classes. And at Rockville High School, we have 4 academy options. You heard about the Wheaton options of Project Lead the Way. At Rockville High School, we have the Advanced Engineering program for Project Lead the Way, which is the one she referenced earlier, which includes the engineering design and development as the capstone, where students develop a working prototype of something they design themselves through engineering practices. We also will have the biomedical science program available, which is also another Project Lead the Way program, which will be at Rockville as well, starting next year. In addition to that, we have an active hospitality management, which the focus leans towards the culinary arts for students that are interested in pursuing careers in that direction. And then we have a very active computer science program, which is also involved with code.org. Students, most of the students at Rockville High School that are in the career program, they will choose to take a menu of IB, there are a certain number of IB courses they must take to satisfy the program, but they will also often mix a combination of advanced placement classes with IB study. And what it allows students to do is sort of pick things that are of interest to them and select the courses work that they feel is of high interest to them and will best prepare them for the next step in their lives as they move on to university. And so the IBCP program you'll see on your applications. We will hold an open house on October 30th at Rockville High School for people that are interested in learning more about the program and how it operates at Rockville. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much to all of you for giving us additional information about your particular programs. At this time, I'm going to give you a little explanation as to how you get in. So, you've heard about a program, you think, oh, that sounds interesting, I think I'd like to apply. Then you're going to know what these next steps are. The first will be to access your student portal or your parent portal through the My MCPS portal. And in that portal, you'll find something called a document library. In that library, you will get what's called an eligibility report. It will give you a listing of the programs for which you are eligible. Now, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, many of you have a purple sheet. Some of you came from different schools, so you got a different color. But that lists for you the programs for which you are eligible based on address. And that's going to be in your document library. Your next step, there'll be a link for you, and that is a unique link. It is only for your particular student, and that link is for the common application. That common application must be completed on or before the 1st of November. It's important when you complete that application that you provide an accurate email address, and also note that your student's email address, the MCPS student email address, is required. Be assured that this process is different from the other process that you heard about earlier, the choice process. So if you are interested in application, there must be an application completed. You will, once you've completed your application, receive an email with the receipt and an attachment. The attachment and the receipt have the same information, just in a different format. It will list the programs to which you have applied and give you next steps. If you've chosen an interest-based program, there are no next steps. You've completed your application and it tells you to which programs you've applied. However, if you are applying to a criteria base, there are two next steps. One is to access the link that tells you where you can fill in the names of your teachers so that your teachers can submit recommendations. And also, students are asked to write a short essay. The information, as I said, that you get on the receipt email is exactly the same as the attachment. Folks, I know it's late and I know we're just a moment or two past, but I'm going to ask your indulgence as I run through a few more of the frequently asked questions. How do I learn about my local high school options? I think we've had lots of information about what's available at your local high schools. Understand that this portion is only about the optional programs. Please consider all your options. As far as the admission process for the lottery program, It's really based on the number of seats. The lottery is run when the number of students interested exceeds the number of seats available. As far as the criteria-based, as I said, there are some additional bits of information that you will need to provide as a part of that, but also note that there is a test that students may need to take on December 7th. Some students may, and I know if you were here for the earlier presentation, Ms. Walsh talked about if you're applying for the Visual Arts Center, that there's a portfolio, and so you would need to have a reservation to attend and show your portfolio. The criteria-based programs will use multiple measures for admission. It's not just based, for example, on the test. It's not just based on your grades. Is transportation provided? For the consortia stops, if you're going to a school that's within the consortia, that's not going to be an issue. If you're going to Rockville or Richard Montgomery, there will be central stop locations. It won't be the right into your neighborhood, but there will be central stop locations. Here's a slide that just shows you, again, the timeline, and that's on that pink sheet of paper that you have. One side is talking about the application process that I've just described, and the other side is where can you go to get additional information, because we've just touched the surface tonight. Please note, this early October is when the applications will become available, but they are due by the 1st of November. You'll get information late January, early February as to which programs you're being invited. And then by late February, you'll need to let us know to which program you've been accepted in and you would like to attend. If you need additional information, there are still people out there at the table fair, so please do talk with them. There's the website for MCPS. If your questions are about the program, really the best place is the Office of Curriculum and Instructional Programs. Their number is listed, and all of this is on your white packet, the big packet, the at-a-glance that I referenced earlier. And finally, if you have questions about admission, that would be our team, the DC CAPS team. We have our number and our email address there. Finally, as Ms. Logue said, your feedback is important to us. We would love it if you would provide us with some feedback through using the link that's listed here. I'll leave that up. I thank you so much for your attention. I know it's been a long night. You have lots of choices and you chose to come here. We appreciate it.